Alright, so next up is going to be the Heroic AAT. The Heroic AAT is something that we are on the cusp of doing as a guild together, so that way we can start earning General Kenobi. This is going to be pre you having General Kenobi is going to be my suggestions here, because General Kenobi is a juggernaut in the first phase of the Heroic AAT. So for the first phase, my suggestion is obviously CLS and Raid Han. If I'm able, or if you're able to get CLS within a timely fashion of when we're doing Heroic AAT, then that's the ideal candidates. If you can't, then the backup plan is definitely going to have to be Jedi. Jedi in Phase 1 are still king outside of CLS and Raid Han. Good Jedi team for you to be working with would be your Qui-Gon Jinn as lead. You'll have to Zeta him, so that's why I'm not suggesting that you go for that, because if you Zeta him and then you get CLS, you're going to be very upset with yourself. So Qui-Gon Jinn lead, Ezra Bridger. You're going to have Grandmaster Yoda, Old Ben, because again you don't have General Kenobi, and then lastly R2D2. With those five, you're going to be easily like a 2.5 million in phase 1 as far as damage goes, which is all you can really ask for out of anybody. So, moving on. So next up we have phase 2 of the Heroic AAT. During phase 2, the best team hands down is going to be the Resistance. We're using R2D2 in phase 1, so we don't have access to him in phase 2, but that's okay. We are just going to replace it with your 7-star Rey that you already have. So then we have Rey, we have Poe, we have Resistance Pilot, we have Resistance Trooper, and we have Finn. Finn's going to be your lead. You have to Zeta him. It doesn't matter. There's just no way around it. He's worth it. You can use him in Galactic War. You can use him in territory battles. Resistance is a great team for offense as far as the squad arena is concerned. Definitely not on defense, because the AI has no clue what they're doing. Yeah. Okay, so next up we need to talk about phase 3 of the AAT. You're going to be using the Chirpa team combo. It's basically the best team for phase 3 of the Heroic AAT. In short, this is a team that is just trying to abuse turn meter as much as possible. It's not infinite, but it's really close. The boss can still counterattack, and that's how it's not infinite. In short, he won't enrage. What you're going to do is you're going to run Chief Chirpa as your lead. He's going to give your Palpatine turn meter. Chief Chirpa, that's pretty much all he does, aside from throw out random attacks at the boss. So Chief Chirpa, lead. Emperor Palpatine, he's going to put shock on all the ads, and then he's going to just start windmilling the boss. Like, it's just that simple. You have Royal Guard. He's there to provide a stun. He's there to soak damage should somebody fall below 50%, and you're already working on your Royal Guard for your R2D2 event that's coming up, so that just all plays really well into that. Then you're going to have Geonosian Soldier, and lastly you're going to have Thrawn. Now you can't use your Thrawn right now because he's not at 7 stars, and for Heroic AAT you have to have 7-star tunes on everyone. But long term, Thrawn's going to be your boy. This is going to be the team that you're going to want to use. There's just nothing that even comes close to what this team can do in phase 3. You should also use Thrawn and other things, and we'll kind of get into that in a little bit. But for right now, we're just talking about phase 3 of the Heroic AAT, and that's your team. All right, here we go. We're talking about phase 4 of the Heroic AAT, and we are finally done talking about this. Super exciting, I know. Anyway, so what do you have to have for it? Clones. Clones, plain and simple. The clones that you have are super well developed. You're not going to have to put much work into them, so that's a great aspect. Moving on, who do you have to have? You have to have Cody. Cody has to get a Zeta on his leadership. No way around it. Sorry to tell you. Later on, I'll kind of discuss about where your priorities should be for your Zetas. So Cody, then you're going to have Echo. You're going to have Fives. Your 5s is well developed. He's 7 stars, well geared, so you're looking good on 5s. And then you're going to have Clone Sergeant, and then lastly you're going to have Leia. With all those guys, Phase 4 is going to be a cakewalk for you. You're really, really close to it already, and so thankfully we can start talking about something else besides Heroic AAT. Yay! All right, we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on this next part. Basically, in short, it's in reference to the Rancor raid. We're already crushing Heroic Rancor. It's no big deal. You have the Tebow team. I don't need to kind of get into that. As time progresses and you do get your CLS and your Raid Han, like we talked about, you just transition those into the Rancor, and literally you can auto the whole darn thing by yourself. So let's not dwell on that. Okay, next up, everybody's favorite topic of them all, territory battles. It's a bit of a grinding process right now, I'm not going to lie. There's no sugarcoating it. We can definitely, hopefully there will be some changes coming down the road. I know that CG has plans to develop a dark side territory battles. They've already listed that on the forums and started talking about it. I hope that they make some changes to the light side before they implement more. But let's continue with what we need for territory battles. All right, so for successful territory battles, you need to have the following crews. All right, you're going to need your Phoenix Squad. You need them, I would suggest basically Thrawn level Phoenix Squad. That means all their uniques have to be Omega. All their abilities should be at ability 7. I'm not saying you need that for phase 1 Phoenix Squad event, but you will need it for the phase 5 portion of it. So gear 8 should be the minimum that you have on all of your Phoenix Squad. And like I said, all their uniques have to be Omega, and Hera's leadership has to be Omega as well, and all of their skills brought up to 7. Who's a Phoenix Squad? Okay, Hera's your leader. No big surprise. You got Ezra. He's a great Jedi to develop, a great Rebel to develop. You'll use him outside of territory battles. The Phoenix Squad also in general is just really strong at Galactic War, so there's that aspect to it too. So moving on, you have Zeb. Zeb is needed for the Thrawn event specifically. You seem to have put him on a back burner in favor of Sabine. I can't say that I agree with that move. I think that you want to get your Zeb more so developed, because Staggering Strike is needed for the Thrawn event because it knocks off one of the Death Troopers' buffs. Okay, so we got those 3. Then we got Chopper, and we got Kanan. There's some people that will tell you that Sabine is better than Chopper in the Thrawn event. I also disagree with that, just because Chopper can dispel. Getting those off of the buffs off of the Death Troopers is paramount. So if you're going to develop a character, develop Chopper, develop Zeb. Do not develop Sabine any more than you have to. Which you might want to for Chimera later on, but for right now, no. Next up, we're going to have to talk Rogue One. Rogue One's not my favorite topic of all. Pretty polarizing, actually. We need them for territory battles, so who do we need? We need Jyn Erso. Your Jyn Erso is really well developed. I assume you're using her in the Rancor raid, which is probably helping a lot there. But I wouldn't continue to feed into Jyn. You're good. You have K2SO, and there's a kid's toy, and the cat again. So yeah, things. Anyway, so K2SO, yeah, I would maybe consider developing him a little bit more, but that would just be because of the ship aspect to him. If you want to get the Chimera, if not, I would pretty much abandon it as long as you're able to clear the territory battle. Then you have Cassian, same thing. It's obviously Cassian's U-Wing, so again, develop him if you want Chimera. I wouldn't prioritize it right now, but just maybe further down the line, I would make that a consideration. Last, you have Cheese, aka Shrewd and Baze. Both these guys are juggernauts in the. I keep using that term. I should probably call them something else. They're amazing. They're savage. They're sick. Whatever. Epic. They are great as far as um, the whole package of arena, um, for territory battles, for just every aspect of the game. Those two, if you're going to develop anybody from the Rogue One, those are the two you want to primarily focus on. Okay, so lastly, we have to talk about the miscellaneous characters for territory battles. You've already started developing them, and that's great. Don't go ham on them. I'm telling you that right now. It's totally not worth it. Bring them to where the missions that you are required for them to have. But if they're succeeding in those missions and you can get away with where they're at, don't continue to develop them any further. It's just a bad idea. So who are they? Um, First, you have Hoth Rebel Soldier. You've done really good there, absolutely, and you should be commended upon it because you're blowing me out of the water with that. Next, you have Hoth Rebel Scout. Also, you've done a great job bringing him up. Continue to develop if you need to, but again, don't go ham. And then lastly, you have, well, second to last, you have Hoth Han. Hoth Han is something that you've put some time and effort into. It doesn't look like you've gone ham. As long as you're able to bring him in and get Rolo shards, don't develop him any further than you absolutely need to. And then there's the very last one, the biggest mamma jamma of them all, Commander Luke Skywalker. Obviously you don't have him, and we talked about it in great detail, but he would be the last character that you would need to complete the whole Hoth set, if you will. All right, moving on.